In this video, we're going to talk about two things. First, we're going to talk about nested pages, and then we're going to talk about prefetching and how unbelievably easy and cool prefetching is in Nuxt. So let's jump up here and say yarn dev, and we'll create a new file in here called luke.view, and then another one called george.view. So let's create a template for these, just something really simple. Maybe a div with a h1 in it. And we'll call this George's about page. And I'm just going to copy that and whack that in there for Luke. So Luke's about page, which is me. Now we can grab this file here, about.view, throw it into that folder, and then we're going to change it to index.view. So for those of you that don't know, index is basically another way of saying, hey, if you go to this about folder and you don't add anything afterwards, I want you to just load this file here. I'll show you what I mean. So let's open up our server here. And now if we go to /about and we don't do anything after this, so just /about, it's going to take us to index.view. But then if we add /Luke, it will take us to the Luke page, all right? So basically the structure here is the exact same as the structure we have in our pages folder, which is just really logical, I think. And it's one of the things that I love about Nuxt. So I'll say that again for those that don't know. If we go /about, then it's going to open the index page. But then if we add, for example, Luke, it will open this page here. If we add George, it's going to open the George page. So that's pretty cool. Now let's go into index.view and create some links to the George and Luke page. And we're going to start off doing it the traditional way. So we just got an A tag here, and we'll put in here Luke, and then we'll say href is equal to /about/Luke. And then we'll do the exact same thing for George. There we go. Save that. And now if we go to /about, we've got those two links there. The Luke page works and the George page works. Now, check this out. If I open up the console and I go to the network tab here and then refresh this page, notice that the last thing we fetch is favicon.ico, all right? So I want you to remember that. That is the last thing that we're fetching. Now, Nuxt gives us a really cool component, which is called Nuxt link. So if I double click on that, go to all of these A tags and change that to Nuxt-link. This is a special tag that's given to us by Nuxt. It's like a gift from Nuxt. I love this option. Now, if we save that and refresh the page, we're going to have to come over here and change that from href to 2. All right, so save that, refresh the page. Notice that the last two requests that we have here are luke.js and george.js. Now, what's happening is Nuxt is automatically fetching the Luke page and the George page for us when we open the About page. So because we're using Nuxt-link, since we're using that special Nuxt component, it is pre-fetching the entire Luke page and the entire George page after it's loaded everything else, which means when we click on Luke, the page is loaded straight away. It's loaded instantly, which is really, really cool. The exact same with George as well. It's loaded straight away. And it turns out I can actually prove this. So let's go back, change this to an A tag like we had before. All right, so if we refresh that page, notice that favicon once again is the last request we have. We can change the speed of our internet by going to fast 3G. All right, so this is going to slow our internet down a little bit to mimic being on, for example, a mobile phone. Now, watch this. I'm going to say click when I click on this link so you can see that it takes a moment. Click. Now, notice that it took a moment there. And let's go back and do it for George. Click. Yeah, and we can see that it's loading up here. So at the moment, it takes a moment to load. However, if we go back to Nuxt link, all right, and we keep it on fast 3G, I'm just going to refresh this page again to make sure it's all updated. All right, so since we have luke.js and george.js, we can see that they're both loaded. We're using a slower internet connection, but check this out. If I click on Luke, click, it's instant because we've already fetched the page and it gets injected straight in there for us. Nuxt is doing that for us for free. All we had to do is use Nuxt-link. How insanely cool is that? And just to prove this to you, if we click on luke.js and then go Control F, we can search this file here. And there we go. So notice that we've got Luke's About page. This is what's being injected in there when we click on the link. And that's why it's so insanely fast. So this is really cool. And it gets even better. Check this out. If we switch from fast 3G to a slower 3G connection, all right, then what Nuxt is going to do is it's going to say, hey, it looks like you're on a really slow internet connection, so I'm not going to pre-download the Luke page because I don't want you to use unnecessary bandwidth. Because if you're on a slow connection, there's a good chance that you're paying a bunch of extra money for your bandwidth. So if we refresh the page here, look at this. It's going to take quite a while, so I'm just going to speed up this video. There we go. So that was really slow. It took 23.85 seconds for this page to finish loading. And notice that we have not prefetched Luke and George, even though we're using Nuxt-link, because Nuxt has said to us, hey, we're going to save you internet because you're on a slow connection. We don't want to do any of this necessary downloading if you're on a slow connection. How insanely cool is that? So in future videos, I'm actually going to show you how you can use Google Analytics to predict which pages are the most popular. And then based on which pages are the most popular, Nuxt can actually prefetch those popular pages for you. So if you have a landing page, for example, where speed is extremely important, knowing which links the user is going to click on and prefetching those links can be insanely valuable because you're going to get crazy speeds thanks to this prefetching feature. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And if you don't quite understand this, that's totally fine. I highly recommend watching this video again because it really is insanely cool, some of the stuff that Nuxt gives us out of the box. Now, make sure you come back here and change that to online. Otherwise, your internet's going to be really slow. And I'll see you in the next video where we're going to dive into some more cool stuff related to dynamic routing. See you then.